In the early hours of Saturday, January 3, 2026, the United States carried out a large-scale military strike on Venezuela, marking a dramatic escalation in tensions between Washington and Caracas. U.S. President Donald Trump announced that Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores, were captured and flown out of the country following the operation. According to U.S. government accounts, military strikes were conducted across multiple sites in northern Venezuela, including in and around the capital city of Caracas. Explosions and reports of aircraft activity were widely observed during pre-dawn hours, with visible damage at major military facilities. The underlying strategic objective of what U.S. officials now call Operation Southern Spear was the removal and capture of President Maduro. U.S. Special Operations Forces, reportedly including elite units such as Delta Force, were implicated in the on-the-ground portion of the mission. The operation represents a significant escalation in U.S. military engagement in Latin America, and parallels have been drawn to historic interventions such as the 1989 U.S. invasion of Panama. President Trump declared the mission a success on his social media platform early Saturday, asserting that both Maduro and his wife had been taken into custody and transported out of Venezuela. He announced that further details would be provided during a scheduled press conference later in the day. According to U.S. officials, Maduro is expected to face criminal charges in the United States, including long-standing indictments dating back to a 2020 narco-terrorism case. Republican lawmakers familiar with the situation suggested that the military component of the operation was intended to facilitate the execution of that warrant and protect the personnel involved. The Venezuelan government condemned the U.S. action as a very serious military aggression and an assault on national sovereignty. Caracas declared a state of emergency and urged citizens to mobilize against what it termed an imperialist attack. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez demanded immediate proof of life and whereabouts for Maduro and Flores, underscoring the uncertainty within Venezuela's leadership structure. Venezuelan authorities also accused the U.S. of targeting both civilian and military sites and called for global condemnation of the strikes, while warning that the nation would resist foreign intervention. The strikes have elicited strong international responses. Cuba's government condemned the U.S. action as criminal aggression, and other regional governments called for urgent meetings of international bodies to assess the situation. Neighboring countries, including Colombia, prepared for potential spillover effects, such as a refugee influx and broader regional instability should the conflict deepen. Within the United States, the legality and constitutional authority for the strikes have sparked debate. Some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have questioned whether the action was authorized by Congress or fits within the president's war powers. The Federal Aviation Administration also imposed immediate restrictions on U.S. commercial flights over Venezuelan airspace, citing safety concerns related to ongoing military activity. The strikes follow months of mounting pressure by the Trump administration against Maduro's government, including sea-based operations targeting alleged drug trafficking vessels, economic sanctions, and the designation of Venezuelan security forces and cartel groups as terrorist entities. U.S. military assets, including naval carrier groups, were deployed to the Caribbean